You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion. Delivered by conflicting media reports, we connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. Yeah, got a lot of good ones on here today. National Dress Day.
It is what it is.
Better than undressed, I guess, in many instances. We've got National Frozen Food Day. I seem to, I think the best part of frozen food in many instances, you fall down, hurt yourself, bang your elbow. I got bad knees. Frozen food, Ace Bandage. Now the peas, they work perfect as a ice pack. Just throw that out there for you. Having beaten anorexia, though, we're going to go with National Oreo Cookie. I love Oreo cookies. And National White Chocolate Cheesecake Day. Now, if you indulge in too much of the Oreos and you indulge in too much of the white chocolate cheesecake, today's also National Dentist's Day. So you may need a dentist if you indulge in too much of those other wonderful items. Hey, let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 228 points. The S&P 500 is down 43. NASDAQ is up 169. Oil up $1.79 a barrel. Yeah, that's painful. And let's see what the 10-year Treasury is doing. That is down 5.5 basis points, 4.099, which should be helpful for interest rates for the mortgage market. What else is helping the mortgage market? Well, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is testifying in Congress today. His opening remarks, not a whole lot to say right there, but he did have his opening comments, as always. Again, not a whole lot there, but when the questioning comes, that's when we start getting the fireworks, and that's what could lead us to some better markets. His opening comments, though, do say that it's likely to have lower interest rates this year. And I'm going to share with you just the commentary that I got from Danielle DiMartino Booth. Her projection was July, November, and December. We're going to be when the interest rates, Fed will be reducing interest rates. July, November, and December. Interesting thought process. She did go deep into why she believes that. A pretty brilliant lady, so I'm not gonna argue with her. The bottom line is, though, we should be seeing some benefits this year. Now, I'm going to recommend, because this is what we're doing with our private clients as well, don't jump on the bandwagon right away and go and refinance as soon as you see the rates drop. Because you don't want them when they start dropping. You want them when they finish dropping, unless you want to refinance over and over and over again. So that's one of the things we do is we watch these things like a hawk to see when is the best time to get involved in that market. Also saw, and I think this is probably helping the markets, the Republican primary over. Donald Trump will be the nominee. The presumptive nominee. Nikki Haley did back out this morning, although She's been out of it for quite a while. Joe Biden will be the nominee for the Democrats. So we're going to get a replay, Biden versus Trump. The question will be very, very simple this time. Do you want border security, crime in the streets, endless wars, and can't afford food? Which way do you want to go? You can't sit on the fence. And I listened to Nikki Haley this morning. And, one of the things that tells you somebody's ready or not ready to be president, she's sitting in the fence right now, not talking about who she wants to support. Well, the bottom line is you only have two options. Sitting on the fence, I'm not sure that's an option that somebody that's ready to be president would be taking right now. So just kind of watching that going on. It is what it is, but that is where Nikki Haley is sitting right now, is firmly on the fence. Now, unfortunately, the president doesn't realize that his remarks are refuted most of the time. I heard just recently he said, well, when asked about his poor polling numbers, he went over and he starts whispering because he doesn't want anybody to hear what he has to say. Maybe it says he doesn't remember what he has to say. But he comes out and he says that look at the last 5 polls where he's winning. And the New York Times was his reference point. Well, he's down by 5 points in the New York Times poll. That's not a good sign because the New York Times is definitely pro-Biden. So if he's down by 5 points in their poll, what's the legitimate number? And most of the time, those polls look at the popular vote. What does the popular vote mean? Well, it means about as much as a median home price in real estate. It means absolutely nothing. All that really matters is what does the Electoral College say? Now, there are people like Jamie Raskin who doesn't believe in the Electoral College and wants to change our whole Constitution. Actually, Raskin, you listen to what he has to say sometimes. He doesn't believe in the Constitution. Another fascinating one. Did you see this one? Steve Garvey. He was in one of the races. There's 2 different Senate races going on right now in the state of California. You've got the partial term and the full term. Both of them have Garvey against Schiff. One has Garvey ahead, the other has Schiff ahead. Well, funny thing is Garvey's didn't really do much campaigning. All of the campaigning, all the name recognition that came out from Garvey was because of all the ads that Schiff did. Now when Garvey goes and starts debating Schiff, and all he has to say is, do you want the guy that lied to you, or do you want somebody that's new? Pretty simple thought. I was fascinated watching Garvey's acceptance speech last night with his baseball references. And again, it's just an outsider out there looking and saying, you know something? Do we really want same old, same old? And California, we're in for a big problem here. No one's even talking about the biggest problem that's on the fiscal horizon for the state of California. You have not heard this anywhere other than Ron Siegel Radio. Biggest problem facing California fiscally is the fact that homeowners cannot get insurance in many, many instances, and people are having to go to the California Fair Plan. What happens if we have another major disaster like we had in Napa a couple of years ago, like we've seen in other places, and we're going to the state of California, which is already $70 billion in debt, and we have to look to the state to start funding the insurance because the insurance companies have pulled out? That's going to be another interesting conversation that we're going to have. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, understanding the different types of credit cards, we'll talk about it. Why access is so important when selling your house, we'll talk about that and more. Reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Hey there, friends. Wondering if now is the right time to buy a home? Or are you waiting for a bunch of foreclosures? The facts speak loud and clear. Defaults and foreclosures are down. Sure, we might be headed towards a recession. But did you know interest rates typically drop and real estate values often go up during a recession? So what are you waiting for? Higher prices or higher payments? Don't navigate these waters alone. Connect with RonSiegelRadio.com today. That's RonSiegelRadio.com.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry. Calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us APR, points paid, or points received. They tell us the actual locked rates. 30-year conforming loans, this is as of yesterday, 6.82%. 30-year jumbo, 7.116. 30-year FHA, 6.581. 30-year USDA, that's generally no down payment rural areas, 6.66. And the 30-year VA loan, best loan on the market, 6.449. If you want our market commentary, we do provide that each business day morning as early as the data provides or allows. rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. Let's see where we stand today in the markets. The S&P 500 is now up 45.8. We're looking at the 10-year Treasury. That's down 4 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities are up 21 basis points. Tells us that mortgage rates are down a little bit today. What's driving all of this? Well, we got a Powell's testimony. We talked about that a little bit. On the economy, he said the economic activity expanded at a strong pace. The labor market remained tight, but supply and demand came into better balance, and inflation has eased notably, but remains above their goal on monetary policy. He said that it will be appropriate to cut sometime this year, but that does not have enough confidence that inflation is moving sustainably towards 2%. Bottom line, there was nothing new said, and his testimony was a non-event. His Q&A session later this morning could be impactful and market moving, and we'll be watching it closely. The ADP employment report. February ADP report showed that there were 140,000 jobs created during the month, which was a little bit weaker than the 150,000 expected. The January report was revised slightly higher from 107 to 111,000. There is a huge disconnect between ADP and BLS numbers. It's important to note that BLS includes government jobs, while ADP only shows private payrolls. Additionally, ADP is showing real data that they have versus the BLS number that uses a ton of estimates and modeling. In essence, the BLS number is BS. So we're looking at the January number, again, showed 111,000 jobs created, while the BLS showed 317,000 private payrolls. Apples to apples comparison, that's a 206,000 job difference, which doesn't equate. While we see that this divergence looks like for February after Friday, we'll see this Friday. Most hiring took place at businesses with more than 50 employees. Service sector added 110,000 jobs, led by leisure and hospitality, which added 41,000. ADP also reported that annual pay for job stayers increased at a 5.1%, down from 5.2% the previous month. Job changers saw an increase of 7.6%, which was an increase from 7.2%. This was the first increase in changes that we have seen in 19 months. These figures have still been trending much lower from the peak we saw 2 years ago, when pay was up 7.8% for stayers and 16.4% for switchers. January JOLTS data, the job opening and labor turnover data, showed that there were slightly less job openings. December was initially reported at 9.026 million and was revised lower to 8.9, while January data fell further to 8.863 million. This data is slightly does not have an impact on the markets. ISM services index for February fell to 52.6 from 53.4, and that was just below the estimate of 53. Within the report, prices paid, which is an inflationary component, fell a material 5.4 points to 58.6. While this is still above 50, it's a big decline and is in the service sector where we're seeing most inflation. The employment component fell to 48 from 50.5, and as a second month in the past 3 below 50, another point of evidence to a slowdown in the rate of hiring. Black Knight released their appreciation data for January, showing that home values rose 0.2% in the month and remained up 5.6% on a year-over-year basis. MBA mortgage applications for the week showed that purchases rose 11% last week and are now down 8% year over year. Refinances rose 8% last week and are down 2% year over year. Refinances are 30% of the market. Now, why would you be refinancing? Not to get a lower rate, because rates are higher than where they were. So why would somebody be refinancing? It's because they're looking to get rid of debt consolidation. Go to rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com, and you can get the current data on there and see how you can get rid of your debt, either with a cash out refinance, a debt consolidation loan, because most people don't understand their blended household interest rate. Or you can do that by calling our friends over Chris Corrales. He can help you with getting rid of the debt if you don't have equity in real estate. So either way, there are methods of getting rid of some debt. You just have to go rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit this morning about getting your house ready for the spring selling market. That is our subject today, and that's a real-time real estate segment. Time to prepare your house for the spring listing. That's, again, real-time real estate, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. One of the things that you got to do is you've got to get the most possible visibility for your property. And we're going to talk about that further. But if your property is not being promoted on TV by your real estate professional, give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'll help you get it promoted on TV or get you to a real estate professional who is putting your property on TV. Time to prepare your house for the spring listing. If you're thinking of selling your house this spring, now is the perfect time to get to start getting it ready. With the market gearing up for its busiest time of the year, it'll be important to make sure your house shines bright among the competition. Here are some valuable tips you can use to get your house market ready. Declutter and organize. First impressions matter. And if your house is a mess that can easily turn off potential buyers, before listing, take the time to declutter and organize each room. Decluttering is about more than just tidying up. It's about creating a sense of space and openness that allows potential buyers to envision themselves living in your home. According to moving.com, quote, decluttering and organizing your space will go a long way in appealing to potential buyers. Decluttering will help the buyers see themselves living in your home. Less clutter inside a home also helps a place appear larger and cleaner, which should attract more buyers, unquote. Deep clean your kitchen and bathrooms. The kitchen and bathrooms are focal points for many buyers and often influence their overall opinion of the house. Ensure these spaces dazzle by giving them a thorough deep cleaning. Pay attention to details like scrubbing grout lines, polishing fixtures, and decluttering countertops. A sparkling kitchen and bathroom can leave a lasting positive impression on potential buyers. Maintain your yard. Your home's exterior is the first thing potential buyers see, so it's important to make a good impression from the moment they arrive. A well-maintained yard not only enhances curb appeal, but also shows buyers the home has been well taken care of. Take the time to spruce up your yard by mowing the lawn, trimming bushes, and clearing away any debris or dead plants. Remember, the goal is to create a welcoming environment that entices buyers to step inside and imagine themselves living there. U.S. News says, quote, a beautifully landscaped front yard can elevate an ordinary house into a charming home and will help homes sell faster and for more money, unquote. Find a listing agent. A skilled listing agent is your partner in minimizing stress when selling your home. Lean on your agent for advice on decluttering, staging, and enhancing your home's appeal to potential buyers. Their insights into market trends and recommendations for reliable contractors and stagers are invaluable. As Realtor.com says, quote, a good listing agent will help you price your home, recommend a photographer and stager to make it look its best, and put your home on the multiple listing service, unquote. Bottom line, by decluttering, deep cleaning, and tidying up your house, you can create a welcoming environment that resonates with buyers and increases your chances of a successful sale. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 if you want me to put you in touch with a great real estate professional who can help get your house listed, which is not really what you want to do. You want it sold. So we want to get it ready for sale. We want to advertise it on TV. We want to price it properly. And we want to get as many people as possible to see it. That's the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. And when we come back, we're going to talk about why access is so important when selling your house, why there won't be a recession that tanks the housing market, understanding the different types of credit cards, and more Reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Find out what your house is really worth. This is a historic number. It looks backwards. If you want to know what your house is worth going forward, you got to talk to a real estate professional. Give me a call, 800-306-1990. Happy to put you in touch with one. Why access is so important when selling your house. If you're gearing up to sell your house this spring, one of the early conversations you'll have with your agent is about how much access you want to give buyers. And you may not realize just how important it is to make your house easy to tour. Spring is the peak home buying season, so opening up your house to as many showings as possible can really help you capitalize on all the extra buyer activity we see at this time each year. Since buyer competition ramps up in the spring, buyers are going to want to move fast to see your house once they find your listing. And if they see it and fall in love with it at a time they know they're competing with other buyers, you may be more likely to get the offer you're looking for on your home. It's understandable you want to keep the disruptions to your own schedule to a minimum, and you may be stressed about having to keep it clean, but it's worth it. As an article from Investopedia explains, quote, if someone wants to view your house, you need to accommodate them even if it inconveniences you. Clean and tidy the house before every single visit. A buyer won't know or care if your house was clean last week. It's a lot of work, but stay focused on the prize, unquote. To figure out what's best for you, your agent will walk you through options like the ones I'm going to share with you. The list breaks things down, starting with what's most convenient for buyers and getting less buyer focused as the list goes on. So first off, lockbox on the door. A key is available via lockbox, which makes it easy for agents to show the home to potential buyers. This gives the most flexibility because the key is on site and convenient. Providing a key to the home, an agent would have to stop by an office to pick up the key with this option. This is still pretty convenient for showings, but not quite as simple. Open access with a phone call. You can allow a showing with just a phone call's notice, which can be great for someone who sees your house while driving by. By appointment only. This gives you a more advanced warning so you can get the house tidied up and be sure you have somewhere else you can go in the meantime, but it's also a bit more restrictive. Limited access. You might go this route if you only want to have your house available on specific days or at certain times of day, but realize this is the most difficult and least flexible of the choices. As an article from U.S. News Real Estate says, quote, buyers like to see homes on their schedule, which often means evenings and weekends. Plus, they want to be able to tour a home soon after they find it online, especially if they're competing with other buyers. If your home can be shown with little or no notice, more prospective buyers will see it. If you require 24 hours notice, they may choose to skip your home altogether, unquote. Your agent is going to help you find the right path forward based on your schedule and what's working for other sellers in your area. And if you've got a hard line on granting buyers more access or have interested out-of-town buyers that just can't be there in person, your agent will get creative and help you explore other options like video tours, virtual showings, and more. And you've got to have a virtual tour online. You've got to have professional pictures, not the ones that are being taken with your iPhone facing the corner, or they've got that, what is that called, Josh? I think it's that like 0.5 on the iPhone or something. So it makes it look like it's distorted the way the picture is if you're standing there. You get all the walls in there, but it really looks kind of weird. So get professional photos. That's what you've got to do with it. And that's what also, if you're looking to get it on TV, which we do with the agents that we work with, every one of their properties are on TV. Got to have some good looking pictures for that as well. Bottom line, when it comes to selling your house, you want to be sure to get as much buyer activity as you can. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I'll be sure to help you get in touch with an agent that can help you. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I wanted to share a little bit of information with you, and we go through these all the time. We have a great service that we work with, Keeping Current Matters, and they give us a lot of great data all the time. And this week, one of their topics of conversation was consumer confidence in home prices and the percent who believe home prices will go down in the next 12 months. And I'm going to share with you that there's not a whole lot of folks that are thinking prices are going to go down. But, you know, we still have to talk about it because you hear about people saying, well, there's a housing bubble. And it comes a lot because a good percentage of the people who are buying houses are millennials. Millennials only know about one recession because that's all they've lived through. And real estate prices took a big dive during that time period. So we're not going to see a big recession, I don't believe. That's my opinion. Now, I did share with you earlier that in the conversation, Danielle DiMartino Booth said that she does think there's going to be a drop in real estate values. I don't see where the catalyst is. That's always my big question. But I did see a report just this morning or a graph this morning that we are seeing credit card delinquency rates are dramatically growing. California, 15%. Texas, 25%. Josh, you got us beat there, 19% credit card delinquency in Nevada. And over there, I think the leader of the pack is our friend Arian, 39% in Mississippi. So there are those folks that are starting to see the credit card, as the credit card defaults or delinquencies grow. That's not a good sign for the marketplace. So, if you can't pay your credit cards, after you stop paying your credit cards, then you go to the mortgage, but you don't do it in the opposite order. But let's take a look at some of the data. And again, we'll give you a real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Why there won't be a recession that tanks the housing market. And I think in this one, we had a lot of graphs to help us discuss this. So let's take a look at why there won't be a recession that tanks the housing market based on data. And it doesn't matter what I think or what you think. It's data that really drives these things. Been a lot of recession talk over the past couple of years, and that may leave you worried where we are headed for a repeat of what we saw back in 2008. Here's a look at the latest expert projections to show you why this isn't going to happen. According to Jacob Channel, senior economist at LendingTree, the economy is pretty strong. Quote, at least right now, the fundamentals of the economy, despite some hiccups, are doing pretty good. While things are far from perfect, the economy is probably doing better than people want to give it credit for, unquote. That might be why a recent survey from the Wall Street Journal shows only 39% of economists think there'll be a recession in the next year. That's way down from 61% projecting recession just 1 year ago. And again, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart of this. Most experts believe there won't be a recession in the next 12 months. One reason why is the current unemployment rate. Let's compare where we are now with historical data from Macro Trends, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and Trading Economics. When we do, it's clear the unemployment rate today is still very low. And again, we got another graph. 2008 financial crisis, we had an 8.3% unemployment. 75-year average, 5.7. January of 2024, 3.7. Again, if you're watching us, you see the orange bar shows the average unemployment rate since 1948 is about 5.7%. Red bar shows right after the financial crisis in 2008, when the housing market crashed, the unemployment rate was up to 8.3%. Both of those numbers are much larger than the unemployment rate this January, which is the blue part, 3.7. But will unemployment rate go up? To answer that, look at the graph again. It shows data from the same Wall Street Journal survey to show what the experts are projecting for unemployment over the next 3 years compared to the long-term average. So you can see that the numbers, again, long-term average is 5.7. And you can see from June of 2024 all the way through December 2026, capping out at about 4.3%. Economists don't expect the unemployment rate to even come close to the long-term average over the next 3 years, much less the 8.3% we saw when the market last crashed. Still, if these projections are correct, there will be people who lose their jobs next year. Anytime someone's out of work, tough situation, not just for the individual, but also for their friends and loved ones. But the question is, will enough people lose their jobs to create a flood of foreclosures that could crash the housing market? Looking ahead, projections show the unemployment rate will likely stay below the 75-year average. That means you should not expect a wave of foreclosures that would impact the housing market in a big way. Bottom line, experts now think we will not have a recession in the next year. They also don't expect a big jump in unemployment rate. That means you don't need to fear a flood of foreclosures that would cause the housing market to crash. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. When we come back, understanding the different types of credit cards, and we might have a little bit more conversation about where housing prices are heading. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. And again, if you haven't looked at rsrdebtfree.com, it's a great service to help you. That's what it's there for, is just to give you some help on dealing with debt. You know, we've talked about the idea of doing the cash out refinance. And yeah, we've got that cash out refinance. It helps a lot of people. And it's a debt consolidation loan. Most people don't understand, and I hear it all the time, so I know that it's a big problem. They look and they say, you know, I've got a 3%, 4%, 5% mortgage rate, and I don't want to change that. And I can certainly understand that people don't want to change that 3, 4, 5% mortgage rate. But the problem is that's only one piece of the puzzle. And it's like saying, well, I don't want to take money out of my right pocket and put it into my left pocket. You know, it doesn't work that way. So it's all your money. If your household debt is at 7 or 8 or 9%, can you tell me why you don't want to be looking at something that might save you money over the long term? If your payments, and I've seen this many times, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, and you do a debt consolidation, bring the interest rate up, and you end up lowering your household monthly payments, you're far better off I think we did a segment on this. RSR3PCTloan.com. RSR3PCTloan.com. And we actually went through and talked about the idea of why a 3% loan is killing people. It's killing people. And the reason most folks don't get it is because, again, they're thinking that all the money is coming out of different pockets. It's not. Take a look, and you know something, the other part of this is it does not cost you a nickel to explore and get educated. All you need to do is if you send us your most recent mortgage statement, all of your debts, and send us the credit card statements. That makes it the easiest way. Redact the account numbers. I don't care about them. And we can pull the data that we need that way. We'll tell you what your blended household interest rate is. We'll tell you if it makes sense to do a debt consolidation loan or not. We might even tell you if you don't have that home equity, well, maybe you need to talk to our friend Chris Corrales, and he's helped people get their payments down by as much as 50% and get them all paid off within 5 years. Now, do you know how long it's going to take you to pay off your debts if you're making minimum payments? Just throw that out there for you. So let's understand the different types of credit cards. If you're considering applying for a new credit card, you've likely noticed that you have a lot of options to consider. There's a wide variety of credit card choices on the market. In fact, there are so many credit cards available that trying to understand the features, benefits, and differences between them all might feel overwhelming. On a positive note, you don't need to learn every detail about every credit card to figure out which offers make maybe a good fit for you. Yet it can be helpful to learn key details about some of the most popular types of credit cards and how they work. So let's talk about them. Unsecured credit cards. The most common type of credit card is the unsecured credit card. When you open this type of card, you don't have to put down any collateral to back the account. Instead, the card issuer will approve you for a maximum amount of money you can borrow at the time. It's also known as the credit limit on the account. When you manage your unsecured credit card account well, it has the potential to help you establish positive credit history over time. But if you pay your bill late or have a high credit utilization ratio, there's also a risk the account could negatively impact your FICO score. There are secured credit cards. Secured cards are a type of credit card that you want to consider if you have no prior credit history or a poor FICO score. When you open this type of account, the card issuer may require you to make a security deposit that's equal to the credit limit on your new account. People often open secured credit cards to build credit, yet keep in mind that it's important to avoid late payments and maintain low credit utilization ratios on your accounts to accomplish that goal. Rewards credit cards. Rewards credit cards are often a popular option among credit card holders. These types of accounts reward you when you use your credit card for eligible purchases. The rewards you may earn using this type of credit card come in a variety of forms, including points, miles, or cash back earned as a percentage of each eligible purchase you make. Once you earn enough rewards, you may be able to redeem them for statement credits, checks, flights, hotel stays, gift cards, and more, depending on the credit card. Before you apply for a reward credit card, it's important to understand that you may need a good or exceptional FICO score to qualify for this type of account. Also, rewards credit cards, and indeed credit cards in general, are typically best for consumers who make a habit of paying off their credit card balance every month. If you involve an outstanding balance from one month to the next, high interest rate charges could quickly offset the value of any rewards you might earn on your account. Want to know how to pay your credit card the right way? RSRCCpayment.com. RSRCCpayment.com. And yes, even if you're paying your credit card in full, RSRCCpayment.com will show you how to pay it the right way for FICO scoring purposes. Over 90% of the people who pay their cards in full are paying them the wrong way for FICO scoring purposes. 0% APR credit cards. Some credit cards may feature a 0% APR introductory period. When you open this type of credit card, you may be able to enjoy an interest-free period on either new purchases, balance transfers, or both, albeit for a limited amount of time. If your goal is to pay down credit card debt, a card that offers 0% APR on balance transfers might help you accomplish this goal. A card that offers 0% APR on new purchases could also be useful if you're looking for a short-term financing solution. If you're using it to pay off those other credit cards, be careful you don't run up the balance on the other credit cards. Keep in mind that you typically need good or excellent credit to qualify for these types of credit cards. It's also essential to pay on time when it comes to 0% APR credit cards. Not only could late payments negatively impact your FICO scores, but paying after the due date might also cause you to lose the promotional APR on your account balance. Small business credit cards. A business credit card can help you separate personal and business expenses, whether you own a brick and mortar establishment or freelance on the side of a 9-to-5 job. A business credit card could be a useful tool to help you. You might also be able to earn rewards on business spending that you could redeem for extra cash back, travel, or other useful benefits depending on the credit card. And as an added benefit, some business credit cards might help you build business credit as well if the card issuer reports the account balance to any business credit reporting agencies. Student credit cards. Student credit cards could be a good solution for college students who are trying to build credit history and establish a FICO score for the very first time. In general, it's easier to qualify for these types of credit cards, but you should also expect lower credit limits and limited rewards with these accounts. You might also face higher APRs with student credit cards, and some student credit cards may be secured credit cards that require a security deposit to open an account as well. Bottom line, there are many different credit cards available on the market. Finding the best option for you starts with narrowing down the types of credit cards you're most likely to qualify for based on your FICO score and credit history. From there, you can make a list of factors that are most important to you, including fees, APRs, rewards, and other features. That is Your Credit Matters, brought to you by rsrdebtfree.com, rsrdebtfree.com. Got a little bit of time left this morning, so I want to give you away some stuff. Giveaways. We like the giveaways. If you are unfortunately experiencing divorce, rsrdymworkbook.com, rsrdymworkbook.com. Put all of your real property on there. We will crunch numbers for you. No obligation, no cost. rsrdymworkbook.com. If you're thinking of selling your house, the new home sellers guides, rsrhsg.com, rsrhsg.com. That is out now as well, rsrhsg.com. And make sure, it's not in the guide, make sure the property is listed by a realtor who is getting your house on TV. Highest prices for properties come from the greatest demand for that property. The demand is maximized when you get the most people seeing it. It also is maximized when you put the property on the market a little bit below market value. Don't worry, you're not giving away your property. When you put it down at a little below market value, in fact, I've got one agent that I talk to. They do an auction. Every property sells in 13 days. And they put the property, they list it anywhere from 43 to 50% below market value. And you have to trust that the market works. It always does. You do 2 open houses the first weekend, maybe a midweek open house, 2 open houses the second weekend, and the auction runs. And the seller has the right to accept, reject, or negotiate any offer for any reason. It's in there in the contract. That way they know the seller's not losing anything, getting the most exposure, getting it on TV, and you get all these different tools. So just throw that out there for you. That's the Home Seller's Guide, rsrhsg.com. rsrhbg.com, that's for our home buyers, rsrhbg.com. Again, every quarter we come out with a new book. You need to look at it. And we did a segment. In fact, I don't remember where it is. We might have to pull it out, Josh. Is a pre-qualification or pre-underwrite. That's the old way of doing things. Certified approval. That's the old way of doing things. Fast pass. That's the old way of doing things. you need to get the modern pre-approval or pre-underwrite. It only comes from, there's only about 600 of us in the country that are doing this, the modern pre-approval. I just throw that out there for you so you have it. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.